What's poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another news video. Not a news video, it's a film review. Sorry, I got confused there. I've just finished making a load of news videos, so do bear with me. But today we are taking a look at The Fifth Wave, which is a movie you can watch on Netflix, and it does have, you know, I felt like I saw this movie before. I saw this movie, and I've been putting it off my watch list, because every time I look at it, I'm like, I've seen this before, I don't want to watch it again. I feel like I've seen it. But I finally, I finally caved, and I went in, and I was like, have I seen this, have I not seen this? I finally bit the bullet, went in to watch it, and I hadn't seen it before. And it's alright, but it has terrible ratings, for some reason. But we'll get into that, because without any further delay, let's head over to Google and see what these guys have to say about this movie. So The Fifth Wave is an hour and 52 minutes, and it came out in 2016, and it is an action sci-fi. Has a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 2.2 out of 5 from Letterboxd, and a 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb. You can watch this on Amazon Prime, Google Play, and Netflix. With the human race at risk of getting wiped out owing to an alien invasion, Cassie, one of the few survivors, decides to risk everything to find her younger brother, Sam. So this movie starts off with a regular day in high school. This girl has a regular day in high school. Chloe is like running around high school, having a grand old time, like la-di-da-di-da. She goes to school the next day, and she's at football practice, and a giant alien spaceship appears in the sky. She's like, oh, that's bad. That's not good. And a giant earthquake happens. Giant earthquake. Simple enough. EMP. All technology, all cars rendered useless. So all the kids have to sit in the main hall waiting for their parents to come and pick them up, even though they're all like 16, 17, they're all basically adults, but they still have to wait for their parents to come and get them. This is the last time she sees most of her friends, because next time she sees them, they're dead. Because a new type of bird flu wipes the world out, most of the population. And then comes great floods. That is the first 3 waves. We then have the 4th wave, with alien creatures coming down and wiping out, half the race, and embedding themselves into the brains of children and adults alike, causing them to pick off the remaining few survivors of humans. So, the army then decide to be like, oh, you know what, we're fighting these fuckers, so we're killing all adults and taking all children. And these children are going to be our new soldiers, because they're the future, and we can tell if they have an alien in their brain easier than we can tell if an adult has an alien in their brain. You know what? If an army man tells me that, I'm believing it, because he's big, macho, and has a gun. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, that's truth. So, they start shipping off the children. Chloe gets off the bus to get her little brother's teddy, and I'm like, if Teddy's that important to you, that's the first thing you fucking pick up and the first thing you pack. If your teddy is that important, you do not leave it, and you do not forget about it for that long. So, he gets on the bus, he starts having a panic attack, like, hey, I need my teddy, go back to the teddy, and she's like, okay, I'll go get your teddy. She goes back, and the bus leaves. She then starts to head towards her father in this big sort of campsite. They all get shot dead. So she runs away, and she throws the teddy. Right, this is important. She throws the teddy. Alright? She then has a panic attack, and I don't know what movies are on these days that make, adding a panic attack into the movie makes it goated. We had Anxiety do it in Inside Out, Anxiety had an anxiety attack, we had Puss in Boots do it in The Last Wish, but there's movies still, doing panic attacks, realistic panic attacks, back in, whenever this movie came out, 2019, 2016, I don't fucking remember, but, she had a panic attack in this movie, and it was realistic, again, you would have a panic attack if this shit happened, it was a realistic panic attack, done in live action. So when it's done in animation, apparently it's 10 times better. So we see her have a panic attack, and she then wakes up in the middle of the forest, going on an adventure. She steals one gun, no ammo, from one of the soldiers' dead bodies. And she starts going on an adventure, she starts walking, she kills someone, and, she keeps going, she gets shot through the leg. Then she passes out, someone saves her and leaves her giant AK-47 rifle just in the middle of the road, because why the fuck would you need to take that? And he reads her journal. He sort of, is being really weird, really suspicious. So she tries to run away. He, kidnaps her and stops her and basically agrees to help her go save her brother, and she finds out, oh my god, you're one of them, you're one of the others, you're one of the aliens. He's like, oh, you got me. Yep, that's right, I'm an alien now. Woo, but I'm not an alien, I'm one of you guys too. And there's this whole thing, and she's like, no, stay away from me, fuck off. So she goes to the army site to rescue the brother, and Zombie's there, which is her crush from school. And he's there, and he's leading a battalion, into battle to kill the last remaining survivors, because they're given helmets which make humans look like they have the aliens in their brain, and they figure that out because the girl removes her chip. And you know what? I fucking knew there was something up with the army and with these, like, child soldiers. I thought it was really weird, really strange. They work out that they're the fifth wave. Oh, look, title of the movie, The Fifth Wave. So Chloe gets to the army site. She meets up with Zombie. Zombie returned to the army site to save the little brother as well, because he left him back at the base when they went on the mission, because obviously he didn't want him to get hurt, he didn't want him to die, like one of the soldiers did do. They died at the thing. So they team up to save the child. They run and they get in a van, which is driven by the girl, which he told to stay behind. They drive off into the sunset and they have a little campsite, and they prepare to go to war with the army to save the remaining children. You know, this is like another dystopian movie, very similar to The Hunger Games, very similar to Divergent, very similar to The Maze Runner. It is that sort of 2010s vibe of sort of horror movie, like sort of dystopian future. And you know what? I think it just came out too late. I think it just came out too late for it to be good. This is like a crossover of a disaster movie and a dystopian movie, because watching this, I was sat here and I'm like, oh, I swear I've seen this before. Yeah, they kidnap the plane at the end. Like, yeah, I've seen this. I've definitely seen this. They do this, that, and the other. And every time I was predicting things, it was like, oh shit, they don't do that? And it's like, it's very similar to so many other movies that I'm remembering other movies watching this. This is just like a mismatch of loads of other movies' tropes, which are very, very close to the other movies, that it's bringing back the other movies' memories to me, so it makes me feel like I've watched this movie before. And because it's doing that, it just makes me zone out a bit, feel less interested into the story, and the twists are predictable. Like, I could easily see from a mile away, like, oh, those helmets ain't right. Using child soldiers ain't right. The army and the government wouldn't do that. I know they probably fucking would, but this is a movie, and, like, the government want to be seen really well in the movies, so, you know, they wouldn't do that in a movie. So I'm like, oh, they wouldn't do that. Like, the real government wouldn't use child soldiers, and these guys look really... You know, they're acting suspicious, they're acting strange. Why can you only see this alien if you have these certain goggles on, right? These goggles are really special, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't think there's enough room in anyone's skull for an alien to even fit like that. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think there's enough room for an alien to even fit in the brain like that. I could be wrong, I could be completely wrong, but I got like a 4 in science, so I'm not too good with anatomy, but I feel like alien brain too big to fit alien in there with it. Also, electrical bursts kill the alien. Like, electrical bursts through the brain. You got to, like, electrocute the person, electrocute the host to kill the alien. That is such a garbage-ass excuse of, like, murder. Like, they're just killing children on the daily. It is also shown the same kid, like, that they kill off every fucking time. Every time they are, like, hiring a new child soldier, they take them to kill the same kid. So I don't know what the fuck's going on there. It's probably just, like, a screen or some shit, and it's, like, a game, and it plays the animation of murder and death when they push the button. Because they are in the opposite room, so it does feel kind of lazy. I am going to be honest, it feels very sort of cheap. And I do understand why it has such a low score. Like, it was trying to set up a universe, it was trying to set up a world, it was trying to set up a part 2. It never got the part 2, gonna be honest with you, so it is just left on a cliffhanger. And I kind of hate it when movies do that. Like, if you don't have enough for a second one, don't cliffhanger it. Don't sort of, if there is no guarantee a second one is coming, don't cliffhanger it. Holy shit, there was a... The acting kind of feels very lackluster as well. The acting doesn't feel that great. They all kind of feel very monotone and very sort of dead. inside, they're all just shouting and yelling, and sort of, when they're not, they're just talking in like no sort of voice. It's just like, okay, let's go. Come on, let's move. They're not acting, they're just talking like normal people. There's no emotion to their voice, there's no sort of exaggerated actions or anything like that. They're just kind of there. And gonna be honest, humans in this situation would be a little bit more paranoid, a little bit more sort of anxiety ridden, a little bit more excitable and running around trying to like do something to protect themselves, do something to save themselves. And these guys ain't doing that. These guys ain't doing nothing along that sorts, and are very much struggling. But yeah, I do kind of see why it's got a shit score, but I don't think it deserved as shit of a score as it got. Like, I think it is like a 4 out of 10 movie. It's like a mid movie. It's alright. It is watchable. It's predictable, but it is watchable if you have nothing else to watch. Like, I wouldn't watch it again. And if you want to watch it, you can. It's not like I'm gonna. It's not a movie I would recommend, but it is like a mediocre movie. It's like, it's just a movie. Like, that's like the understatement of the year. That's like the fucking most stereotypical, obvious movie of the year. It's like, it's a movie. No shit. But it's got nothing special. It's got no redeeming qualities. It's just a movie. It's all right. It's nothing special. That's my review of the movie. It's all right. It ain't the best. It ain't the worst. It's meh. I got no other words to describe it. It's just, we don't actually get to see the aliens either. It's just all humans. Like, there is no aliens. We don't actually get to see them, so